Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dress to Quest. I'm Nathan. I'm the DM here. Thank you for joining us this evening. Also, we missed last week. Sorry, things were a little crazy, and I was moving and had to cancel the show. So that's what happened there. But we're back. Thank you for joining us again. And this evening is a special evening. We have a very special guest with us tonight. We have Thor with us this evening. Thor, we're so excited to have you here. And with that, let's do some quick intros for everyone, and then we'll jump right back into the story because we left off with a pretty crazy cliffhanger last time. So, first up, we got Chris.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris and I play Aize Marley, a human Termitian wizard. And tonight is Rescue Underwater.
That's right. Next up, we have Amy.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy. I play Chinyar, an Eladrin cleric.
Awesome. Next, we have Eric.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Eric Wahlberg. I'm Volric the Grey. He's a 4th level Rune Knight fighter and a 3rd level College of Swords bard. Or at least I should say he was before a Baroness Sawagan chomped his face and killed him.
Yes, indeed. Next up, we have Josh, or Winged Horizon.
Hey everybody, I'm Josh Starrett, also known as Winged Horizon. I play Shifty Capone, the real Malone. And I am a arcane trickster rogue that I guess likes to play a little bit of dress up sometimes. With the high seas.
That's right. And then we have Space.
Hey guys, I'm Space. I play Aspen, the Asimar, Hexblade Warlock, Divine Soul Sorcerer, and hopefully we can get our friend back.
And last but not least, we have Thor. Thor, thank you so much once again. If you don't mind introducing yourself.
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, I'm Thor Nye. I will play an unknown factor as of yet in today's campaign. But I'm happy to be here. This will be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Did you want me to?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an actor and a professional DM. I DM for D&D in a Castle. I'll be there in July if you're thinking about it, and I have a fun movie coming out. Not until December, but it's the new Rebel Moon movie from Zack Snyder, so that'll be a fun one. Make sure to watch that.
Awesome. Yes, go check that out when it is released. Sorry, did you say the release date, or has it not been announced yet?
It's in the late December. It's one of those like Christmassy blockbustery things.
Sweet.
I'm not sure exactly the date. Might be 22nd.
Right.
Not.
Cool.
And Nathan, I'd like to make an announcement that I'll be watching it.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
I think it'll be hard to avoid, which is great for me.
Yes.
You get to watch that thing in the movie theater like, I know that guy!
They might have a limited release. It's a Netflix thing, but it's a massive production, and they have so much money involved. They might do the limited theatrical just to get in the Oscars race.
Awesome.
So that's fun.
Well, that is excellent, and we're so excited to have you here. And with all of that, I think we're going to jump into our recap here. Just as something I did forget in our intro, we're on episode 20, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. We're on episode 20. We're playing the Ghost of Salmar setting, and as you can tell, we're a D&D actual play video show, streaming show. And we have an emphasis on cosplay. All right, let's jump right into it, shall we? So, last we left off, our heroes found themselves in quite a tricky situation. They were deep within the Sahuagin fortress, fighting the two-headed demonic shark that seemed to have been corrupted by the presence of Tharizdun. They managed to destroy the shark, only to discover the writhing tendrils within that burst forth, and they had to fight that. After defeating that, a very tough fight indeed, with their help from their friend Brox, the monk that was friends with Volric in his past, they decided to push further into the fortress while the assault was taking place around them. The allied forces coming in from above and below, trying to take out the Sahuagin. As our heroes pushed further into the fortress, they were led by their new companion, Duthine, a Triton prisoner that they rescued from the Sahuagin, and she led them straight to the throne room where they confronted Baron Kepmak and Baroness Seklaz, two of these massive Sahuagin with 4 arms. The fight was a hard fight indeed. Many people went down and were brought up once more. And in the final moments, as Volric was being overwhelmed by Sahuagin, he managed to slay Baron Kepmak, saving his friend Brox, only to then be devoured by Baroness Seklaz. And as Volric's body was dragged away into the bloody deep of the throne room, our heroes had to watch in horror as their allies arrived to aid them. However, Volric's body is in the clutches of Baroness Seklaz as she is pulling him into the throne room with her elite honor guard. So, with all of that, oh shoot, all my cameras are messed up. That's super fun. Let's go to... Oh boy, I love this.
We were on mute the whole time.
I wasn't, was I? Oh my
No.
goodness. That has happened before.
Classic streaming stuff.
Oh man, it was so embarrassing. It was like, no. Shoot. Well, I had my cameras all set up, and then of course when I went and looked, everything is off. What is going on? Well, I'm going to have to use this camera setup. So, Thor, unfortunately, you're going to be on camera. I wanted to keep you off camera until you actually arrive, but that's okay. Here we go.
That's okay. They have to meta anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just pretend like the forgotten one isn't there. So, as we pick this up, let's jump right back into it. So, we see you all by the ruined lizard folk sculpture in this great banquet hall of the Sahuagin. There are dead bodies strewn about everywhere, and chaos is erupting around you as the allied forces are pouring in. The two Sahuagin champions that were essentially harassing you have diverted their attention to the allied forces pouring in and swim off to confront them. I will, if you all want, if you really want to get into it. They are essentially not engaging with you, but if you want, you can make your attacks of opportunity as they... you know what? I'll keep it simple. They disengage. They swim away. So they are going to confront the allied forces. In front of you, you all see Baroness Seklaz cradling Volric's limp body and retreating back into the throne room. 3 of her honor guard fanning out in front of her, spears at the ready, as she retreats into the throne room with Volric's limp body. As this is happening, I would like to shift our focus down to Chenyar, who is crouched behind the statue with Aize there. Chenyar, I believe you had something you wanted to do in this moment of desperation.
I did. I'm crouched behind the altar, so only Aize really actually sees this. He's next to me. Chenyar will prostrate herself over, and she will start to shake, and she will start to say something in a language you don't understand. It's Sylvan. And she will reach out after she closes her eyes, and she will say, which you do not understand, my liege, my Raven Queen, please, I beg you, please intervene. Volric will die, and it will be permanent if she gets away from us. Please, my queen, please stop this.
Chenyar, as you are doing this, Aize, you see Chenyar bend over, and suddenly, just briefly, you watch as just before she closes her eyes seem to go completely black with shadow and then close. Chenyar, as you were having this plea, you were just eyes closed, pleading towards the Raven Queen, you suddenly feel it, the weight of the water around you suddenly lift. And as you open your eyes, you find yourself in a familiar shadowscape of writhing mists of shadow and darkness. There are shapes of various humanoids seeming to flit about you and take form and then disappear. Directly in front of you, you watch as the mist seems to part. And out of this mist, you can see a figure approaching you. Humanoid figure. And as they get closer, the image clarifies and you see what appears to be a woman of some sort in a hooded garb that looks up towards you, the eyes completely black, the skin almost a ashen gray, but she looks towards you.
I will stand from my kneeling position and I will bow my head, and then I will look back up at her.
As you look back up, she is suddenly twice the size, looming over you, looking down, silently, wordlessly staring at you. You start to hear a voice creep into your mind. So you come before me again for aid.
I do.
You do realize that if I'm to do this, and she bends down, bringing her face towards you. The body seems to almost elongate, the neck elongating itself as the head comes straight up towards you. Raven black hair draped down around the cheekbones. It will come with a price. Are you okay with this, Chenyar?
I will have to be, my queen.
She
Thank you.
raises a hand and the mist starts to swirl next to you. And as she raises her hand up, you watch as another form of a body rises up next to you.
Her eyes will go wide as she watches this take shape and form, this entity.
As you look at this entity next to you, Thor, why don't you describe what we're seeing here?
You are seeing a very pale-skinned, purple-eyed, but with sort of almost corpse-like elven features. However, surprisingly, there's a beard going on. And there is a sort of a dark cloak like the one I'm wearing. He's got, or this person looks like a man, has dark, this armor is all leather and chain sort of mixed in. It looks of special make, but it's all dark and gray, and there's some purples in there, with a rapier and a dagger and a large sort of holy symbol of a raven hanging above all that stuff for all to see. And with these, like I have, this black sort of veins coming from his eyes.
Chenyar will slowly reach her hand out in his direction. What do you do?
Your prayers have been heard. I will come with you.
And she will reach her hand to grab yours. Come quickly, then.
All right. So I don't know how to make this look really cool, but I will, put my hand forward and sort of let her transport me.
Yeah.
As that would happen.
As you reach your hand out, and Chenyar, you make connection with this person in front of you, grasping their hand. You just hear a very soft chuckle as the Raven Queen next to you. Very well. And she waves her hand, and you both feel your stomachs drop as darkness consumes you. Aize, Chenyar was only bent over for but a second when suddenly her eyes open, and next to her you start to see bubbles rise and a current start to form as wispy tendrils of shadow start to rise up next to her. As this torrent begins to settle, you watch as a dark, shadowy shape of a humanoid forms next to Chenyar, and then clarifies, and you see floating there in the water the form that is the Forgotten One next to Chenyar.
I will stand, by the way, DM, as he starts to form, so I'm no longer behind the barricade.
Okay.
And my eyes will dot over to look at Aspen,
Okay.
and I will have this pained look on my face as she stares back at me. And then I will look over to where he's forming.
You look over and you watch as the Forgotten One becomes whole once more.
Is there a shocked, sort of stoic shocked reaction here because of the fact that we're underwater and I have no means of breathing or really moving?
So as you manifest in this environment,
Right.
there is that moment of shock as you kind of feel the weight of the pressure pushing down on you, and you kind of feel your lungs catch as the water fills your mouth and lungs themselves. And then you just hear a gentle sigh in your head. It's all right. I have you. I will always have you. And you feel the water become breathable and the pressure relieve. And you feel as though you're able to glide with grace in this strange environment. For all intents and purposes, you can breathe underwater and you have a swim speed.
Cool. Yeah, no surprise for me at that. That's obviously what's going to happen as we go into various planes to do the thing that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So this was sort of okay. Got it.
What is your reaction as that kind of takes hold and you suddenly find yourself floating there?
Well, there's an ease, of course, but not surprised, confident, sort of. Okay, we're here to do this thing, this job. And it's it's a thing that maybe happens, if not very frequently. I am a person she uses for this sort of thing a lot, so I would have been in similar situations before, but maybe it was a plane of fire, and it was like there's that shock, and then she's got you right. So this is fine.
Cool.
But yeah, so I look around and I sort of try to see what's going on here.
You look around and you find yourself in what appears to be some sort of great banquet hall, deep underwater, covered in tiles, and there are tile mosaics to depict a massive shark devouring various creatures of the world as it rampages throughout. And directly ahead, you see this huge four-armed Sahuagin pulling a limp body away, and three other Sahuagin with their spears out in a defensive position. All around you is the strange sort of muffled, echoey sound of combat, and you can see that there is a great battle raging to the left and right of you, various forces pushing into this room. And then you see Chenyar there, surrounded by her companions. I am going to quickly open this up to the others that are there. What is your reaction as you see Chenyar standing there pointing towards Volric's body and this strange new person that's just appeared next to her?
Aize levels his wand and says, Chenyar, look out!
No. He's here to help us.
Oh, go get Volric! And I level the wand at Volric.
Okay.
So this is
Well, actually,
you're
that.
Sorry. Go ahead. Are you actively pointing at Volric? And also, of course, we heard your prayer, or me and
Yes.
me and the boss.
I'm pointing at Volric, who's being taken away.
All right. At that point, I know what to do, sort of, and I don't really acknowledge the rest of you. I'm just like I get there, get acclimated really quickly, look at Chenyar, see what she's indicating, and then just laser focus that way.
So as he looks over in that direction, Shifty, you're there crouched behind this statue seeing this. What is your reaction? Oh, you're muted, Shifty.
What the? There's another one?
No, he's here to help.
Aspen, in this moment, you can see your companions reacting to this as well. And what is your reaction as you see now this figure looking with determination towards Volric's limp body?
I definitely stare at him, or whatever this being is, like quizzily, but my focus is mainly on Chenyar and that pained expression that she has on her face.
All right, and as you have this moment and the Forgotten One, you look towards Volric. All focus on Volric. I need you to roll initiative as the Baroness is taking his body away.
All right, rolling initiative. I believe yeah, that should be correct, actually. That has all the bonuses.
Excellent. So you got, is that right? You got is it a 15 there?
A 15 is correct.
Okay, cool. Let me add you to the initiative order, and we're just gonna, for
They have already rolled, right?
Yeah, for efficiency's
So
sake, we're gonna keep it the same initiative order from last time. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I have an ability. It's really when they do roll initiative the first time, but if you could let it take effect now, immediately, so everyone's initiative would jump by 3, if that changes the order.
Whoa, okay, that's awesome. So is including yourself, or?
So that the 5 includes the 3 for me, but everyone who didn't roll with a +3 would be 3 higher.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so suddenly all of you feel like, what does this look like? Something the Forgotten One, or is it?
It's a class thing that has to do with the Watcher, and so that it's just suddenly you're just more alert, and you're suddenly able to just read the situation a little quicker than you normally would, and sort of you just my confidence or whatever it is that's happening here just immediately sort of rubs off on everyone who's an ally.
Wow.
And they can, maybe the movement I'm doing like just highlights something in that they weren't necessarily aware of.
Yeah, that is.
So it's immediately just like, what? Oh, okay, boom. Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, let me bump everybody's initiative up by 3, and I'm gonna kind of reorganize our. Here we go. Wow, that is super rad. So all of you suddenly feel this almost like burst of adrenaline and focus as the Forgotten One appears and looks towards Volric. Taking us to the top of the round, we have Aspen. Aspen, what are you going to do first?
I think I would like to check in with Aize first. Do you have anything left, Aize?
2 magic missiles and a firebolt.
Okay, so you and I will worry about the 3 guards. Shifty and dual theme. I want them to worry about the 2 that's leaving. And I look to Chenyar. Are you okay to fight? Can you continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And when she says that,
if I can get Ulrich healed in some way.
I got a hand. I can use my hand. I'll
Okay,
reach for him.
Oh, sorry.
I can go invisible.
If you have anything left, this is the time to use it. And as soon as Chenyar gives me the go ahead, I whip around and I cast Eldritch Blast at this guy and that guy. That guy.
Okay, go for it. So you whip around and 2 bolts of energy shoot out.
And I believe we still have Bless from the last time, yes?
I think so. It looks like Chenyar is concentrating on a spell, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18 for the first guy.
That hits.
And 17 for the second.
Both of those hit. Is it 10 damage for each?
Yes.
Awesome. So these two blasts of infernal light slam into the Sahuagin as they start to back up, trying to get into defensive position. Is that it for you, Aspen?
I will look to the party. I'm going to start moving up. Anybody that thinks they can handle this fight to come, please join me, and I will move up. I'll move up 10 feet.
Okay, so swimming forward, you get into position, taking us to Aize. Aize, what would you like to do?
I pull down Archive towards me.
Oh, yes?
Top the pages. Idan Masali. Magic missiles at the closest Sahagin.
All right.
And I am switching out. Actually, force is good. I'll use force.
Okay.
Let's clear a path, my friend.
Yes, I got it right away, sir.
And the missiles fire out. Is it 3 of them?
Yeah, here, I'll do
Excellent.
it. This is +3. 3die4 +3. 11 points of damage.
Nice. Okay. So as they all slam into the closest Sahuagin, they're still standing. Not quite knocked down, but they're all looking really hurt, trying to get into that defensive position to stop anyone from going forward. Is that it for you, Aize?
I will swim forward and trail behind Aspen.
Okay. So going up directly behind Aspen, taking us to Shifty. Shifty, what would you like to do?
Shifty would. What does it take for a to drink a potion? Is it just a reaction?
It depends on the potion. So for
Invisibility.
that would be a full action, yes.
Okay, that'd be a full action. All right. And do I have to drink the whole potion, or can I drink half of it?
It's all or nothing.
That's why it takes so long. It's a full
Yeah.
quart that you just gotta guzzle the whole thing, or it doesn't work.
That's right.
I'll bring him back. I'm not gonna leave without him. No Krugers left behind. And I just start chugging it, the invisibility potion, and I believe I still have some little bonus actions here that I can use.
That's right.
Which will let me move. So once I take it and I'm clearly invisible, I'm going to use my cutting action to do a dash.
Awesome. Okay, so and Shifty disappears. Go ahead.
And
So if you're doing a dash, that nice. You have you have 60 feet of movement.
25, 30, 60 actually, because of my helmet.
Nice.
And I can get by anybody bigger than me actually because of my
Yeah, your halfling nimbleness. That's right.
Yes, so I can move through a space of them. So let's see. I think that was at 25, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
35, 40, and he's right next to me now, right?
Volric is, yeah.
How does he look right now? Does he look like he's in pieces, or just like just chomped a piece, or?
His neck is his neck is essentially torn entirely open, and there's just blood pouring out, and then half of his face has been mauled. He is dead.
What does this Baroness look like? She's her next action's doing. Like, what is she in the process of doing right now?
She is like starting to tighten her grip around Volric's body, the eyes twitching around. She looks, for as best you can read on this creature, she looks like she's in a flight state, like frightened state, as she's pulling the body in and eyes darting around, and she's looking like she's gonna swim away.
Does she look like she's hurt?
She's a little hurt, yeah. Not terribly, but a little.
And is she looking in any direction? Like, is she looking to like?
She's looking out towards all of you, like trying to assess who's coming at her.
So I hear 30, 35, 40.
Is she the one with the shark? Does she like have a shark face? Is that?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's the one who straight killed Volric.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So I can't actually. I would have to be here. And that's her space, right? So I can't go.
Sorry, you want to get behind her?
I was going to try to go behind her. Yes.
I think you can do that.
I think this is as far as I can. This is as far as I can get. I think.
Okay, got it. Okay, so that was your movement and dash as you push past all these Sahuagin, which don't know you're there with your invisibility, dodging in and out of their fins and arms and legs, and you end up right there in front of this good 10-foot tall Sahuagin with 4 arms clutching onto Volric, just... And that takes us to the Forgotten One. What would you like to do?
I will... Oh, can I? Yeah, I can move myself. I will move straight towards that front line. So 10... I guess I have 30 feet?
That's right, yeah.
So I move 25 right at this guy, and as I do so, I've drawn a rapier and a dagger.
Sweet.
Of raveny motif.
I think, and if I may, I think as you draw them, we see almost like inky tendrils of shadow trailing behind them as you...
I agree. And then it's okay. So I am unable to see anything else right there. So right as I'm like pretend striking at this guy in front of me,
okay,
I bonus action step 30 feet straight ahead. So that's 10, 20, 30 should be right behind her.
Ooh, is that Misty Step?
It's not Misty Step, and I guess we've said the name. It's called Blessing of the Raven Queen.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It does 2 things. It teleports me 30 feet to a space I can see as a bonus action, and gives me resistance to all damage until the start of my next turn.
That is awesome. What does it look like?
It's one of those flashes of like shadowy blackness, and maybe a feather, just waving in the water.
Yeah.
And then same thing back there. Little bit like. What's his face in X-Men?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yep. It's like the coolest scene ever. Okay.
That was pretty cool. So I am now in this room, and I see these things.
So coming into this room, it appears there's no other creatures in this room at the moment. There's just you are alone in this room with the Baroness, who does notice you appear behind her as she looks back and sees you there.
Yeah, so she manages to look back just as the first rapier strike.
Awesome. So you do have advantage on this because you're flanking. You know what? Actually,
I am flanking.
You are.
Does she know that though?
No. So you do not have advantage because Shifty is invisible. So
yeah. So she's not. Her attention isn't divided.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
all right, cool. So here comes a rapier. I'm gonna buff it up just a tiny bit because it has cool tendrils now.
Okay, cool.
Because I didn't know what the deal was. I just had a normal one. But we'll add +1 to this, I guess.
Excellent. Okay.
That's not great.
15. She reaches out with one of her big webbed hands and just grabs onto the rapier. You are just barely missing her chest.
Okay, well then I re-aim with my extra attack second.
Awesome.
And attempt to do that again. Oh wow, I'm very impressive.
Oh no! As you try to push further in, she just wrenches the rapier away from her as you manage to pull it free just in time.
Yeah, still getting used to this underwater stuff. Anyway, that would be my bonus action and my action and movement. So that's it for me. But I'm now actively blocking her from moving back into the room if I can.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for you, the Forgotten One? I think, is that it for your turn?
That's it.
Okay, cool. That takes us to Duthine. Aspen, you told her to go after the ones that were fleeing, so she will swim off towards them, and for simplicity's sake, I'm not even going to bother rolling for that. She's just going to go off and join the battle so we can keep things moving. So she swims off and is joining the fray as all that chaos takes place, taking us to Chenyar.
So Chenyar is going to move as close as she can, which is approximately there.
Okay.
And you said that she's damaged, so Chenyar is going to do Toll the Dead.
Okay.
On the Baroness.
Okay.
With a DC Wisdom of 15.
Indeed. Okay, here we go. DC 15. No, that's an 11.
Awesome. She's going to hear the sounds of a raven in her head, cawking, and she takes approximately. Yes. Ah, jeez.
Wait, sorry, was it only five?
5
Okay.
points of damage.
I'm
Like
sorry.
the worst roll, 2 and a 3. I guess a 1 would be the worst, but
So as in her head, she suddenly hears these haunting caws of ravens, and she kind of, and then just continues to focus on the forgotten one.
So how
It's okay,
bad
we
does Aize look to me right now?
I don't know, Aize?
Oh, I'm not hurt that badly. I'm 31 out of 44.
Okay, I just want to make sure that, because I know you had taken quite a bit of damage last round.
You
How
healed-
about,
yeah, you healed me up. I'm fine.
okay, how about Aspen?
I am currently 32 out of 45. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay, so everybody's good. Then I will hold on to my healing potion. And don't have any other actions I can do.
Okay.
So that's it. That's it. That ends my turn.
Excellent. Taking us to the Sahuagin. She points one of her hands out and starts barking orders, and I don't think any of you understand the language. Barking orders out, pointing to all of you there trying to approach. And all of the Sahuagin kind of fan out into the entryway, getting into defensive positions. Yeah, you know what? I think these two are going to get into position there, and this one is going to swim up and go straight for the attack on Chenyar. Shifty, this would break your invisibility, so it's entirely up to you. If you want to make an attack of opportunity, you can, but just be aware it'll break your invisibility. Are you gonna hold, or?
It was my plan to do that, actually, if she tried to swim away from me.
Oh, no, this isn't, sorry, not the Baroness. This is one of the others, the smaller Sahuagin.
Oh, no. I'm safe for this big one.
Okay, so this one goes straight for Chenyar. Chenyar, you are hurt?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so these are all made at advantage due to their blood frenzy. Here we go. So that is a 23, a 22,
That hits.
and an 18.
They all can hit me?
Looks like it.
Okay.
They attack with advantage due to their blood frenzy. And in
Okay,
fact,
so my armor class is a 19.
oh, okay.
So
the 18 doesn't hit. All right. So then, in that case, the two attacks, 5 piercing and 4 piercing damage. So a total of 9 piercing damage as they start to jab their spear into you, pushing past your armor and shield. The other two are going to hold their actions to attack anyone that comes forward. And that takes us to Volric, who is dead, meaning 1 round down before Revivify is no longer an option. You have 9 rounds left. The Baroness. Let's see, what is she gonna do? Okay, yeah. So you are blocking her way, the Forgotten One. Let's see.
I'm not particularly like intimidatingly large or anything. I'm tall, but like slender and a little bit of dexterity.
Yeah, for sure. She probably, she's just gonna go all out on you then. So she's gonna start taking her 3 remaining arms and start clawing into you and trying to bite into you with her jaw as it unhinges. So here we go. This is 3 attacks. You are not damaged, so these are just straight rolls.
Yeah, no, not yet. Well, not for the first one, I'm not.
Okay, well, the first one is a 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit. That
will hit. Okay, so the first one hits. You take 11 points of piercing damage as her jaws bite down onto your shoulder.
And because I'm still, so I'm actually, because of the teleport, I'm still like sort of ethereal, so I only take half the damage. So 5.
Awesome. Okay, so the jaws sort of clamp down. You feel a piercing pain, and then suddenly you're almost shunted out of the mouth as it snaps onto nothingness, and then the claws come towards you. You are damaged, so advantage now. So this first one is only a 13. Second one is a 24 to hit, dealing 11 points of slashing. Is that also halved?
So yeah, everything is halved until it's my turn.
That's awesome. Okay.
So 5 more.
And that is her turn, as she's trying to carve into you, trying to get past you, but you are blocking her way. Okay, that
perfect.
I'm trying to think. You know what? Sorry, to be fair, because I remember this happened to Volric. Well, no, they couldn't get past Volric, I don't think. Okay, yeah. So we'll say that you are the ceilings are 15 feet tall, but we'll say that you're like right in the middle at the 10-foot point.
Oh yeah. I can be in the way, so she
totally.
can't swim in the way. That works.
Okay.
I'll be 6 feet tall or 6 and 6'2", so I'm covering like 2 spaces.
Yeah.
And then she can't get through.
Darn it. Yeah. So she is trying to carve into you, and that takes us to the top of the round. Aspen, you are up.
How hurt do these 3 Sahuagin look?
They look really hurt.
The one, they look. I'm sorry. Repeat that.
They look very hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna drop my shield and I'm gonna two-hand my battle axe, and I'm going to attack this one right in front of Shinyar.
Go for it.
23 to hit.
That
plus
hits.
7 damage. Oh, I rolled a 1 on damage.
7
Sucks.
damage. Oh, I'm sorry. Carving it with your battle axe. That one looks pretty hurt.
That is all I can do.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna stay right there.
All right, Aize, you are up.
Lock and load spell number 2, Archive.
Right away, sir.
Once again with the magic missiles.
The missiles go flying out of Archive, and who are you attacking?
Same one that was before until I'm dead.
Okay, cool. Okay. Go ahead and let's see that damage.
This is plus 3 die 4. 11 points again.
11 again, okay. Blood is trailing out of the back of the Sahuagin with huge burn marks in its back, but it is still standing. These guys are tough. All right, Aize, is anything for bonus action or movement?
No, I'm staying close. I'm staying close to Aspen.
Okay.
And she doesn't move, so I'll park it right behind her.
Excellent.
I will gently put a hand on her shoulder, just letting her know that I'm there. Not doing anything creepy or gropey, just you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're standing behind the big, powerful woman with the battle axe. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I just like try to squeeze his hand back. I look over to Shinyar, make sure she's okay.
Awesome.
And I whisper down to firebolts. No, I'll switch them to force.
Hey, you and me both.
Yeah, I'm officially dry.
Whew. Okay, amazing. That takes us to Shifty.
All right, so she has not moved because she's busy attacking, correct?
That's right, yeah.
And I have one question. Do I have Bless right now?
Chenyar, did you make your concentration checks? It would be 2 concentration checks.
Yeah, I did not. So let me do that now.
You just need a 10 or above for both.
So first one.
Let's find out if you have Bless. First
15
one's
for the
good.
first one. Second one. Shoot.
Okay,
No.
Unfortunately, the Bless fades. So you no longer have Bless, Shifty.
Okay, that's all I need to know. So I am going to aim at this Baroness's Sahuagin, probably like right at her armpit that's holding the Volric.
Okay.
To see if I can just use my booming blade I'm going to use the booming blade, which is pretty much my, I believe, action, my full action,
Okay.
to have it sheathed in this energy. And then, of course, then as I try to strike at her, it's going to be a sneak attack.
Yes.
And it will make a boom.
Yes, and you have advantage on this attack because you are invisible and flanking. So, yeah.
All right, here we go.
All the advantages.
Yes. Okay, 21.
Yes, that definitely hits.
It keeps asking me if I want to do a whisper roll. All right. So it looks like a 13 to 23 points of damage.
23.
Right to my armpit.
Bits of flesh erupt off of her arm and go into the water like chum, but she clutches tighter onto Volric, pulling him into her chest, and then looks back and sees you there. The mouth starting to unhinge a bit. All right, that was a big hit on her. Anything else for you, Shifty?
She is now sheathed in this. She is now sheathed in
the booming
this
energy. Yeah.
Energy. So she moves, she'll take another thing of damage. She doesn't know that, but yeah, she moves, she's going to go boom again.
Okay, excellent.
And I'm going to go ahead and use my disengage.
Okay.
And
yeah.
go past her.
Okay. You swim under her legs and pop up right next to the Forgotten One there.
Who was prepping a spell and then suddenly reconsidered.
And then I'm going to be like this.
Okay, as you give her a face, she tries to snatch you, but your nimble movement, she's unable to grab onto you. All right, Shifty, that was your turn. Taking us to the Forgotten One, what would you like to do with your turn?
The rapier glows in some additional sort of... you know how the dark saber is bright, but it's dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. So it's suddenly now it's I cast Branding Smite on the rapier as my bonus action, and then I would have loved that advantage on those two attacks, but I don't have it.
All right, go for it.
So here comes so Branding Smite is I think I hold it until I hit, so it's first level.
Cool.
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's second level. Cool. So here comes first attack, and we'll add another plus to this. Great.
First attack. Oh no, a 9!
and then I will impressively do this.
Come on. There you go. Oh my god, that would be
just come in, just be completely useless the entire time.
Here's this badass guest that comes in and then misses every attack.
Why was he for the Forgotten One?
I have not explained this.
Yeah,
but you will forget my presence, that's why. So forget that I was even there.
Dirty 20 hits.
So dirty 20 hits, and it's actually a 21.
Oh yes,
thank you. 21. But yes, so but the Branding Smite will go off, but I'll also charge it with another level 2 Divine Smite.
Ooh, okay.
So it's the pre-post smite on this one.
There you go.
So that's gonna be the rapier is a D8. The second level Divine Smite will be 3d8, so 4d8s.
Oh,
Branding Smite is 2d6 radiant damage.
Oh my god. Okay.
And I don't know if the rapier maybe has a d6 worth of necrotic or something. Or is it just a +1?
Just +1, yeah. Just.
All right, cool. All right, so I don't actually. I'll roll the Branding Smite damage. That would be 8, and then I'll just have to roll a bunch of damage dice in here. We're doing 4d8s, and we're doing +6 on that one. Boom. So that's another. So it would be 33.
Oh my god! Is that all the damage?
That's all the damage.
That is smitey impressive.
That's pretty smitey.
Where's that voice coming from?
Oh, sorry. I mean,
that is amazing. Okay, the Forgotten One.
It explodes in holy
Well,
dark magic.
what exactly does this look like as you kill
Sorry.
Baroness Seklaz with that one divine smite?
So the first miss was to draw her guard down,
Yeah.
only to then obviously spear her. Does she have? You said she has 2 heads? No, 1 head.
One head, 4 arms, and she's almost like a great white shark, like slate gray skin with white underbelly, and wearing these like bleached shell and bone armor.
Okay. So the first attack draws her guard down, and the second one stabs above and into her
Gullet.
gullet, not into her mouth, but into her throat
Yeah.
underneath. But then all that magic explodes.
Amazing.
So now it's almost like Jaws if it was the gullet, but it looks kind of like Jaws.
Yeah.
The end of Jaws when they do the like gas tank thing.
Yeah. As it sinks into the base of her neck, and there's just a beat as she makes eye contact with you. The eyes go wide, and then poof, and Chum and Bubbles just.
And in the moment before she perishes, she's also branded by that branding smite, which means she will light up all mysteriously, almost like a flash of thunder, because she dies immediately, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like a flash of light, and then in addition to the actual force, as all of her sort of lights up and then fades. Okay, if that actually kills her,
It does.
I will immediately. I haven't moved. Can I grab hold of Volric as a sort of reaction as I pass the other way?
Yes, you can. You can move with Volric at half speed once you basically treat it like difficult terrain. But yeah.
Right. So I'll move 5,
Mhm.
grab him, and move. I guess I would have 25 left, so I move 10 back.
Okay.
And then, so I'm holding him over my. So I would have sheeted with my dagger or whatever. I'm holding it over my shoulder here, and looking to the rest of the party.
Awesome. So you all see as the Bubbles and Chum clears, this dark figure holding Volric over the shoulder, just floating there like it's almost like a specter of death, as the blood dissipates
yes.
around you. Is that it? Is that it for you, the Forgotten One?
That's my turn.
Okay, excellent. That takes us to Duthine. She's busy. Chenyar.
All right, so I will say to Aspen, I have to see what I can do for Volric. You'll have to hold them off, and I will use my feature trait, and I will turn invisible, and I will swim past these guys to get to right next to Volric.
Okay. And you swim up and over them, swimming right past invisibly, and go ahead and move yourself.
Okay.
Awesome.
Through all the guts.
Through all the guts and the bubbles.
Through all the guts, right to Volric.
When does the invisibility end?
Let me
Is
take
it
a look.
the start of your next turn, or? Well,
There's a zip that casts the spell invisibility.
Cool.
So
Then it lasts, I think it's like 10 minutes or something.
Concentration.
it lasts
10
an
minutes.
hour.
An hour.
It lasts an hour as long as I concentrate on
Nice.
it. But I won't be concentrating on it forever because I need to do something else.
So, as you swim past them, it's now the Sahuagin's turn. They all flinch at that sudden depth charge that just went off behind them, and they look back and see their Baroness's body starting to sink to the bottom, head removed in a raining cloud of guts and blood. They immediately and look about, seeing the chaos of the battle starting to push in around them, their Sahuagin forces being overwhelmed. They're going to... They're gonna run. So they start to... Actually, wait. They don't... No.
Stand and die,
Yeah,
cowards.
they have nowhere to go. So they look around, seeing this, and you just watch as they drop their spears, and they sink to the stone floor below. And they just kind of raising their arms. Yes, I mean swim. responding to Volric in chat. But they raise their arms as they surrender, as the battle starts to press in, defeating the remaining Sahuagin in the area. And that is going to take us out of combat. Let's immediately go over to Chenyar. So Chenyar, what are you doing? You have swum up next to the Forgotten One and Volric, who is slumped over his shoulders.
So I will no longer be invisible. I will drop the invisibility.
Okay.
And I will say to the Forgotten One, I do not have the spell Revivify, but I have the components. I have one spell slot left. I am not sure if the Raven Queen will give us this victory, but I will need your help.
The price for this one is different.
Understood.
And then I guess if we're out of combat, I'll do my thing.
Yeah, go for it.
So I from a sort of pouch underneath my cloak, I pull out a. Help me describe this. Is this like a bluish?
So it's like a very faint light blue, almost sky blue egg with
It's almost a sky blue egg.
Speckles of black running up it.
With speckles of black running on it. Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I look at you. I say,
Are you willing to pay the price, even though it might not be yours to pay?
I will do what I need to.
Very
And this-
well.
Done.
okay. So then I open his dislocated, bleeding, hanging half off jaw, sort of, just try to not make a mess of it, and I crack the egg open in his mouth, and like quiet and clutch the holy symbol and sort of mumble some secret Raven Queen words to myself.
Incantations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As he's doing this, I'm going to look up at Aspen and Aize, but focus my eyes straight on Aspen's.
Okay. You look towards the two of them as this is happening and see the Forgotten One leaning over Volric's body, cracking that egg. As the egg shatters in your hand, there's almost a pulse out of your hand and a deep bass note of, and you start to see tendrils of inky shadow coming from your hand and starting to sift down into Volric's open mouth and nose. Volric. I'm gonna cut over to Volric here for a moment.
He's in character.
Indeed he is.
Don't know how much longer he can hold this pose.
Yeah, no blinking.
Yeah,
or
exactly,
breathing.
Exactly.
I've been planking for like 2 minutes now.
Volric. You, for a moment, have had a bit of serenity here as you start to feel warmth fill your body and you start to hear these sounds of your son filling your mind. You are just bathed in kind of a warm white light, featureless space. But you suddenly feel a cold kind of run up your spine and a hand sort of gently grab the back of your neck. What do you do, Volric, as you're lying there in this warm, featureless, kind of warm light space?
So I am also fully conscious.
Yeah, you feel like you can, you have your wits about you as you have the sensation of warmth. You can hear the sound of your son laughing in the distance as the sound itself seems to be getting louder, and then you feel that cold run up your spine and a hand gently grab the back of your neck.
Sergey?
You hear a voice. I'm afraid not. Your friends, they wish for you to come back. to aid them, they feel your time isn't up.
Again.
I'm afraid so. And you feel the hand sort of gently caress the back of your neck. Would you like to go back to them? They desperately want you to return.
Something's different this time.
I need you to know something before we make this agreement. Should you decide to go back, I will have a little piece of you with me, if that's all right with you. You will be, I will grant you a little bit of something, though, in return. Some resolve, a bit of extra power, let's say. But I get a little piece of you as well. What do you say? Would you like to return to your friends?
My allies need me.
Yes, they
That's
do.
not a question. I accept.
Excellent. Excellent. You feel the hand sort of tighten on the back of your neck and then go down to your shoulders, and another one grabs your other shoulder. Oh, this should be fun. And then you feel your stomach drop as the light fades. And you suddenly feel the weight and pressure of water pushing down on you, the coldness of the water. And you feel that thick atmosphere of the water filling your lungs as your body begins to struggle to breathe it once more with the aid of Aize's magic. Volric, you come to life amongst all of your companions. What do you do in this first moment?
Just turn my head, scan across the corridor in the adjoining room. I look up at this new stranger who I assume is over me.
Yeah, I'm holding you heroically.
Is it you I owe a debt to?
And then I put him, I guess I let him go in the water. He can just float by himself. Yeah, I don't need to hold him at all. Okay. Yeah. Does he know at this point what's happened in terms of what the price was, or no?
No.
Okay. Then I will say ominously,
The price has been paid.
and then I turn to Chenya. Sort of just waiting for her to say
You owe
something.
nothing. You owe nothing, Volric.
I don't know what he is. I think he's some kind of a phantom thing, but yeah, he just exploded that bear nest.
What is your name?
Yeah, summoned him. Our the friend of Chenyar's. Bolric, that's 3. 3!
Yes. I live again.
Oh,
I look
don't-
around, and we have won the war.
I cannot imagine how happy I am to see you, Volric.
Chinyar will reach her hand out, and she will pat Volric's hand, and then she'll reach over to the Forgotten One, and she'll touch his hand slightly, just ever so carefully, and she'll say in Sylvan, very, very faintly, "Thank you," and bow her head slightly to the Forgotten One.
What is your
So-
name, stranger?
I have long since forgotten my name in the service to my queen. Many things are forgotten in our service.
Say that again.
I said I have long since forgotten my name
In service to the queen, many things are forgotten in service to her.
Which queen is it that you service?
I just sort of don't even answer that. I just kind of glance at Shenyar.
So what the heck do we call you?
There is obviously a big holy symbol on my chests. So if anyone who is familiar with the different religions would be immediately be able to see what that is.
I was gonna.
I'm a shadow guy, and
And like anyone who's familiar with the planes would be able to tell that I am from the Shadowfell.
Yeah. Who has religion here as a skill? I know Aspen does. Anybody else?
probably Chinyar, of course.
No, your cleric surprisingly doesn't have religion.
I would say Arcana would work as well if you would like to roll an Arcana.
Yeah, for the planar stuff. Yeah.
And Aspen, you can roll a religion check.
19.
19. Okay. Yeah. So Aspen, what you see is, do you have an idea of what your holy symbol looks like? For
Mine, yeah, it's a raven head, sideways. So it's a profile of a raven's head.
Awesome. And is it on like a thing of like iron or some sort of?
It's like this one.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, it would be iron or silver or something like that.
Cool.
But a slightly dulled from a long exposure to a colorless environment.
So you see this dull metallic material in the shape of a profile of a raven's head surrounded by a circle. Aspen, you recognize that as the symbol of the Raven Queen. And Aize with a 14, I mean, I don't know if the Raven Queen is necessarily that secretive. I think you see this and would know that is the Raven Queen and that the Raven Queen has ties to the Shadowfell. I don't think you know the intricacies of the Raven Queen. You just know her name and I would say like very base level kind of what she represents.
Is she an enemy of the library?
I don't. That's a good question. Let me.
You mean the cult of preservation of knowledge? I would prefer you forget these things.
Yeah, I mean.
Neither friend nor foe.
Yeah, like it depends. Can be, but like she loves secrets and loves to keep secrets, and sometimes.
So we could be very good friends for that. I mean, they might have an arrangement even. She
is at times been known to give great secrets that have been lost forever, but always at a price. So.
Right.
All right. Standard Shadow God. No problem. I'm just rattling off from memory, but I make a note in archive. And so we call you the Nameless One? Mr. Nameless?
I am forgotten.
Sorry?
I am forgotten.
Ah.
Is my volume really low? Should I turn it up?
Yeah, turn up just a touch.
Yeah, you're a
it's
little
okay.
low.
Just a tiny bit, yeah. When you were whispering, it's like it was a really whisper.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah, if with the
Did you say what? What?
with the whispery voice, I think just a touch up on that gain.
Gotta.
Oh, please no, I mean no hostility or rudeness to you. You helped bring my friend back. I just don't feel comfortable calling you. You know, I mean, that's just rude. So I'll just call you Nameless.
You who are
As you wish.
You can call me Aize. I have a name.
You who are forgotten. I do not wish to ask for something else, since you gave me the greatest gift one could ask for.
You may ask whatever you want, but know things have a price.
I simply wish to know who it is that brought me back. What is that symbol?
Would you think that the Raven Queen wouldn't like him to know that, or do you think that that's something she wants to? Because I'm sure we've done this similar thing before.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly common, desperate prayer.
Yeah.
So what's the MO? What's the standard operating procedure for us? I mean, would you?
I I would
If it helps.
say.
If it helps, Nathan, this may be something I will lean into in the future. So I don't know if that matters in your decision.
Okay, yeah. I would say in this case that you would defer to the one who summoned you, essentially the
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will just say with a sort of a knowing grin there that you have already met her.
Okay.
That is all you will tell me. I will accept it.
Yeah, and then I glance over at Shenyar as if she knows too. Should you wish to ask someone you may trust or something like that? Yeah.
I will walk over to Shinyar and the others, bringing Aize along with me. And I'll look between the Forgotten One and Shinyar, and then Volric. Can I do like a medicine check on Volric to see if he's like essentially in his right mind?
Sure.
I don't know if that would be a medicine check.
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Good question. Did he come back with full hit points?
No, it would have been the equivalent of, what is it, Raise Dead or Revivify? You come back with one hit point, I believe.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
swim
think
up
so.
and give him
Yeah.
a huge hug.
So DM, I do have one last spell
Okay.
that I would actually cure Volric. I've been saving it, the one last spell that I have.
Go for
The
it.
cure. So I'll cast it on him as soon as he came back.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I got a 10 insight.
I am clearly very stoic and somewhat cold. Well, even without a roll, you would notice that.
I look to Shinyar. What does he mean the debt has been paid?
There's always a debt to be paid for such things. I will find out what it is. Don't worry about it, Aspen.
This is a conversation in front of me.
Actually, I will cast message.
Okay.
Yeah, I will cast message, and I will look Shinyar straight in the eyes.
And I will stare at her back straight in the eye, and I will answer her what I said.
Okay.
And I will
and-
pained look on my face as I look at her face.
I'm tackling.
Nathan,
Yeah.
as someone who knows something about making deals and having made a deal myself, like, would I kind of know the extent of what just happened, or can I make like some type of check?
Right, you got that 19, so we'll just let that roll over. You would know that the Raven Queen tends to enjoy collecting things, but that often is more abstract. It can be a memory, it could be a feeling, it could be a personality trait. It could be something that's a part of you as a person that she may take for herself in exchange for whatever she is offering. And typically what she offers is knowledge to those that seek her out, but this seems like it could have been something else that was given.
I'll take a cue from the fact that Shenyar healed him right in front of me. I see that, and I assume, okay, that's what she wants now. So I'll put a hand on Volric's shoulder and say, "Do not worry. You are now part of her. What you've lost will be preserved forever." And as I do that, there will be a 20-point lay on hands.
Nice.
So Volric, you were healed 10 from me, and now 20, so you're up to 30.
All right. I take a deep breath, accepting that, nod my head.
The wounds on Volric close up a bit more. There's still severe scarring that is left behind on now on Volric's other side of his face and along the neck itself. But those wounds close up. And Volric, the healing on this, it feels more like icy water that runs through your body. Just a shot of energy almost that then dissipates as opposed to a warmth.
Right, and it almost maybe even feels like it washes something away with it, but you can't put your finger on what that is.
Awesome.
You said my debt is paid, but no, you can seek me out.
You big dummy. And I'm gonna rush up and
may.
all this stuff and just wrap my arms around your head and probably end up hurting you a little bit in your scars or whatever, but I'm gonna wrap myself around you and like, you big dummy, you had to sacrifice yourself. Just like, I'm so glad you're back. It's love that you brought you back. Don't worry about any of the other stuff. All this dark shadow guy talk and everybody's getting so morbid. We need to get out of here. Come on. Can't believe we came down.
Shifty's right. We need to meet one of the infiltrated teams, or at least get back to the surface and see what's going on.
By the time you're... Oh, go ahead, Andres.
I will take the ring that I got from Brax, and I hold it out to Volric to take.
Okay. You see, as you grab this ring, Volric, you recognize this was a ring that Brax was wearing, and it appears to be a collection of Hydra heads that are intertwined with each other to form this ring.
This was the recall ring?
This is a ring of protection, I believe.
Mm.
On that note, is the Sahuagin Baroness wearing anything, or is she? What's going on with her? I'm not looting her, but I'm pretty sure me and my lady would take something that would be a memory or have some significance for that person.
Yeah, of course.
That they may be carrying as like a token from such deeds.
Yeah, let me. This is a very good question.
Her journal.
Her journal.
I'm sure she has her. Yeah. Oh my God! Today we were swimming around.
Oh my God! You don't even understand, Raven Queen. What does she have on her? You're looking for something small, just like a small token?
It would be a token of something that would, like, something she would have close to her. Maybe it's a ring that's of no real value, but was given to her by someone significant to her, or like a necklace to her own, deity, or maybe something from, whoever, especially whoever.
You do find a, you find some tight, like, armbands around her top arms. And kind of sewn into the thick leather that's holding them on are a collection of teeth. They look to be, they're not shark teeth, they're like
humans.
Not humans, no.
Humanoid.
They are more predatory, like, but definitely larger than.
But I do like the idea of a shark wearing just a human tooth necklace.
Hell yes.
Yeah, that's great. So I'll take this.
Too, yeah.
That sounds like it's something she's built over time with her conquests or whatever. So that's perfect. So I will snatch that.
Okay.
And stash it.
Snapping that off.
Yeah.
Putting it into your pouch. Perfect.
Yep.
And then
say a couple of like silent words, and then that's it.
Other than that. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have anything else on her. I don't know if you want to take this as well. She does have a dagger at her side. It looks like a very nice dagger that has like a pearl on its handle. But
sorry, Nathan. I put something in the chat.
Of course. What did you put?
If you double back a bit, I posted at 7:15 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a little loud now. Okay, I'll turn that down.
Oh yeah, just a touch. If you can split the difference there. I'm sorry, Aize. I'm having a hard time finding it. What was it exactly? Do you remember?
Aize is ritual casting detect magic.
Detect magic. Okay, so as you sit down and focus in on archive and start to extend your senses out, casting that spell. And Chenyar, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to reach down and grab the pearl dagger.
Okay, hey, there you go.
Hold it up to Aize to see what he comes back with.
Okay. So
Well, I was just gonna do everything in general. I'm gonna cast a comprehend languages next, and should I get into that? Actually, no, that works. I'll do a comprehend languages. We seem to have some Sahagin prisoners now, so at the very least, it's not as effective as Aspen's tongue spell or your tongue spell. Whoever was casting tongue spell, it's very effective.
Okay. As you're
Is the dagger magical?
Well, we'll find out once the
10 minutes.
Magic 10
Oh,
minutes.
1 minute, right? You got your order of the scribe?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So you can do it in 1 minute.
I guess we could always test it out on one of the Sahuagin.
So as you sit there and focus for a minute on that, everyone else is kind of gathering around. At this point, you see the Sahuagin are being tied up as the aquatic allies are pouring into the room. You see a collection of Lokotha and merfolk that are swimming up with their spears, holding them at point, and then pulling them in and starting to bind them. Behind them, you see more forces starting to pour into the room, dealing with the bodies. And in front of all of this, you watch as the lizard folk queen, Queen Othokent, in her kind of iridescent plated armor that runs all the way up her snout and down her back. At her side is Brox. They both swim up next to the lot of you. Brox looks at you, Volric. I thought you were dead. I'm happy to see you're alive. And then looks over and sees this shadowy figure standing next to Chenyar and kind of raises an eyebrow. Othokent bows to all of you. I must thank you all greatly. I can't believe what you've done here. As she looks around and sees these two massive bodies of the Sahuagin that have been defeated lying here in this hallway. I've sent some of my forces to continue on to the upper levels. The land-based allies are having a bit of a hard time. Those above do not realize that the battle has been won already. I must return to the battle, but I wanted to thank you all greatly. Good luck.
You could count on us.
The Sahuagin will no longer victimize the people of Saltmarsh. They'll no longer enslave, eat, or force into combat. I will follow you up.
Very well. As she kind of stiffens up and gets all the other forces around, Volric, you would like to go with Othokent up top?
Yes, and I turn towards the group, stoically looking to see if anyone's coming.
Okay.
Let's go.
I would like to get some mileage out of my detect magic and basically sweep that temple.
Okay.
There's something I am looking for.
Yeah. Let's get some
If you
loot.
want to go upstairs, I'm fine with that, but just somebody stay around with me so I don't get randomly stabbed by some Roman Sahuagin.
All right.
Not that I'm helpless, I do have a firebolt.
I bet you there's something right under that chair.
So as Volric files in behind this smaller force that's heading upstairs, Chenyar and Aspen and Shifty and the Forgotten One, are you all going to stay behind with Aize? Yeah?
Yes, I will grab, if Shinyar allows me to, I will place my hand on her cheeks, still casting message. Do you know the price you had to pay to bring him back? Or is this something we will find out later on?
We will find out later on. But I will let you know. But don't tell the others. Please.
You have my word.
Especially that nagging feeling that maybe you didn't pay the price. Maybe someone else had to.
As you have this moment between the two of you, the Forgotten One, you're standing there at Chenyar's side.
Yep.
You hear the familiar voice creep into your head. I would like you to stay there for a bit with her. Provide her with some aid.
Yep, I just reply as you command in my mind in Sylvan or whatever. She probably speaks Sylvan.
Sylvan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As Volric departs with the small force and Othokent going upstairs, the rest of you here in this throne room, Aize focusing in on the book, that power eventually releases and Detect Magic is cast. As you look around the room, the dagger just seems to be a very nice dagger. There's no magic radiating off of it. I'll tell you now, it's worth 20 gold if you want to log that. And let's see, in the throne room, as you look around the throne room, I'm trying to think if there was anything that pops up. Because this isn't very interesting, I'm gonna look this up during the break and see if you find anything. So as you start to scan the throne room, the rest of you huddled around waiting for Aize to reveal what may be. Volric, you swim upstairs with Othokent and this remaining force. We're not going to play it all out. The battle has been won, but you fight through a couple of waves of Sahuagin with relative ease before you reconnect with the forces up top. As you reconnect with them, you see a human individual come towards you, a woman in what appears to be splint armor. She approaches kind of out of breath. She seems to be at a higher ranking. You can tell she's a captain of the Lord's Alliance. And she looks at you, Volric. Quickly. Eleander is down. Something happened in the battle, please. You have healers with you. And that is where we are going to go on break as this captain approaches you, Volric. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll be right back. And we'll be back here for break, and we'll see what happens.
One
next.
second, Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in chat right now the D&D and Castle direct link to Thor's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for my table in July. Yes, I think there's like 2 tickets left. So yeah, that's
it's
cool.
in
Thank
chat
you.
now. So, and if those of you guys who are watching us on YouTube that did not see the chat, it's D&D with an N, inacastle.com, and again it's Thor and I, Knai.
Yeah, if you don't know what D&D in a Castle is, you should look it up because
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's
It's a lot. That's
really
yeah.
cool.
It's exactly what it sounds like, but you should look it up anyway.
Yes. Amazing. All right. Well, is there anything else, Thor, before we go on officially go on break? Anything else you want to talk about real quick?
Not that I can't really. In a couple of weeks there's a fun board game coming out that I cannot talk about yet. But if I come back on the show, I'll plug it.
Amazing. Okay. Well, we'll see you back here very shortly. Thank you, everybody, and we'll be back soon. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. We're gonna jump right back into this, and let's see here. Whoop. All right, we're back. Let's jump right back into the story, shall we? So Aize, you cast Detect Magic as we find ourselves here after the battle. You are surrounded right now by various dead Sahuagin who are being collected by the Allied forces, as well as the Allied forces, which are starting to go through and kind of like pick through things. As your Detect Magic goes up and you look around the room, you don't see anything magical like coming into view. What I will say though, for kind of the sake of this, since Volric is off fighting with the other forces, we'll say that's at least like 10 minutes of time that Volric is going to be away. Why don't you make an investigation check for me with advantage, since you have Detect Magic up, and we'll see if you find anything essentially in the throne room and the adjacent rooms that kind of extend out from there. We're just going to treat this as like a big kind of search as you're here with your party.
Can I guidance him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I will guidance him.
Okay, you can add a d4 to that roll. Okay, so that is a 22. That is excellent. So, going through the throne room and the adjacent chambers, I'm assuming your allies are kind of following behind you. Let me know if you all want to do something else instead. But as you all follow Aize around scanning these areas, you come into these other rooms that are off to the side. The room to the east appears to be some sort of sleeping quarters as you head into that area. There is a large private dining area. There is a sleeping area with these big mats of seaweed that are kind of rising up into the ceiling. And then another chamber towards the back with another large bed of seaweed and a coffer. Picking through all of this, you find numerous items of value, nothing of magic that seems to pop up. I will give you all of that after the show, like an itemized list, so we don't have to bore people with just accounting. Going off to the west, as you go through those chambers, you find what appears to be a large planning room. There is a stone table with various what appear to be like large shells with engravings on them, like you found before, like those tablets that the Sahuagin use. And let me see what else is in this chamber. Here we go. Thought I had it here. Yeah. So in this chamber, you see what appears to be multiple tablets with writing carved on them, as well as a large, like some sort of cured leather map that's been like sealed in some way to make it water resistant or waterproof. And on that map, you see a region that is recognizable to you as the Sword Coast region, where Saltmarsh is, as well as other cities. And there are key locations marked that you can clearly recognize as Saltmarsh, Thornhold, Neverwinter, and Waterdeep. Continuing on through into the other chamber, you find what looks to be another sleeping quarters. This has another massive bed of seaweed. And to the south, as you are scanning through this room with your Detect Magic up, you sense a slight shimmer of energy, and you look on the wall and you see that there are very faint glyphs that run along the seam of a very well hidden secret entrance. You immediately realize that this is a glyph of warning similar to the one that was upstairs. We'll say for the sake of ease, I mean, do you have a way of dealing with this glyph of warning, or is it impassable in your current state? Or do you have one way of getting past it, the Forgotten One?
Yes.
Oh, Aize
I have a
does.
means of dealing with it.
Okay, what is your means of dealing with it?
I will break open Archive.
Uh-huh.
Archive, let's bring up the unseen servant, shall we?
Oh, yes, a wonderful spell.
All right, so just like last time, a sort of like trail of current and bubbles appears as this invisible servant moves towards the invisible door, and then there's just a sudden as a flash of freezing cold energy destroys the servant and removes the clipboarding.
Alas, poor Jarvis. I knew him well.
Oh, it's always a bit sad when this happens.
And you do notice, the Forgotten One, that the book seems to be the entity that is talking, as it sort of flaps as this voice emanates out of it.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were talking to, but it is actually your spell book.
Yes,
Cool, that's
the
great.
spell book is speaking back to Aize as
Order
it
of the scribe.
and is it floating next to you, Aize, or are you holding onto it? I can't remember. It tends to float, right?
When he's manifest, he's floating.
Yeah. So as you push through that secret door, within here, you find what appears to be a large store of plundered items. Again, I will give you the list after the stream so that we don't bore everyone here. But you find, essentially, there are these like beautiful leather harnesses adorned in rubies and platinum. There is a large canvas bag that, as you look in it, it is filled with platinum coins. There's an ornately carved stone box that when you open it up inside, you find that glowing algae that has been present in certain areas of the temple, especially, in the fortress, especially in the temple itself. And this algae itself seems to have been like cured in some way and put in these like bundles, but it's still kind of pulsing with that faint
Ooh, I take a sample.
aqua green light. Yeah, go for it. And as well as just various other pieces of plundered items. There is a statuette of what looks to be a massive shark as well that you recognize as a representation of Sekala. Yeah, Chenyar.
I'm going to wait until you're done describing everything.
That's what you see.
Okay. So before we got to that room, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
before we got to that room, while Aize was going from chamber to chamber and we were following, I'm going to take the pearl dagger that was on the Baroness,
Yeah.
and I'm going to give it to the Forgotten One.
Okay.
And I will say in Sylvan, very faintly, this is for our queen. The secret is that this Baroness was trying to raise Tharizdun. And
Yes. I took that other memento. Would I'll accept. Yeah.
the dagger's from Chinyar to
Yep.
the Raven Queen, as it was a token on a creature that was trying to bring Tharizdun into this realm, and that's what she tells you to give to the Raven Queen as
I
a token
understand.
of a battle.
The Raven Queen thanks you.
I take the dagger.
Okay.
I'll take it at face value as a gesture for that.
Mhm.
I will not be offended that it's a $20 dagger.
Yeah, well, we don't know what's in the other rooms
That's
yet.
not magical, and we're looking at a giant treasure. I'm kidding. That's fine.
Yeah, but we weren't in that room yet.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm saying it's fine.
You get Macquarie.
You want me to take this to her?
No. So as
There
you.
might be other things that go for her. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
weren't there yet.
It is true that the Tharizdun thing might be relevant to the Raven Queen. So I will accept and say thank you.
Excellent. So, that is what you find in this area. And as you were kind of collecting what you want to collect and kind of gathering your thoughts here as you're all doing this search with Aize, does anybody want to do anything before? Yeah, Aize.
Telepathic link to Aspen.
Okay, go for it.
First thing first, the moment that we get back, we have to check to see if Galen is alive. If he is, that means I missed. And my worry is that he'll know.
Okay.
And if he does know, we're going to have a word with him.
I mean, Volric is already up there. I can try to message him and see if he can find him.
Well, make me wonder why we're interested in knowing about where Galen is. I mean,
that's true. You're right.
A secret is between two people. When you add the third, it becomes privileged knowledge.
I was gonna say problematic, but you are right.
Like,
how about this?
If it's the case, I'm hoping that I didn't miss. But if I did, we're gonna have to brace him.
Don't worry. If we missed, I'm sure we can come up with a rather good tell of why he didn't have anything. But I mean, if you want, I can send Shifty up there now to kind of scout, since this is something I wanted to do for him, if that makes sense.
I suppose, but again, I believe we should just keep it between us.
Okay.
I'm just reminding you.
Okay. I nod at Aize, but I position myself behind the four of them as they are walking, following Aize, and I'm kind of just keeping an eye on Shinyar and the Forgotten One.
Okay.
Kind of like I'm just clocking everything that happens between the two of them.
Got it.
And the other thing I want to do is archive. I certainly hope you recorded everything.
Oh, most certainly. Everything has been recorded.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, I know you got to capture it on the moment, but I believe this is when our Shadow Warrior dispatched the Baroness.
Yes, of course.
I'm not sure if we quite captured the moment so well, but...
What? That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well done, Archive. Well done.
It's just all in a day's work, of course. It helps that I don't have those cumbersome hands and fingers that all of you have. It just kind of manifests.
Exquisite writing, no doubt.
Librarian, happy as a librarian can be. Okay, that's it.
All right. All right. As you conclude this investigation, let me first check in with Volric. Volric, so you were upstairs as the battle comes to a conclusion, and you see this captain come running up to you, out of breath. This woman in split mail, kind of mousy brown hair, weathered skin, and she exclaimed to you that Eleander Fireborn has gone down and is asking for any of your healers. What I want to know from you is, are you gonna run downstairs to find everybody, or are you gonna stay up top and do something else? Basically, what is your plan here? What is your reaction here to this information?
Where is Eleander?
This way. As she goes to lead you further in, are you gonna follow?
Yes.
Okay, so she goes running down the stone halls. You can see multiple Sahuagin down on the ground, blood pooling into the stone cracks as you go running through. There's almost a disturbing... Everything up here is in a good probably 2 feet of water. It seems that they managed to start to sink the island but didn't quite get it fully submerged. So you're sloshing through the water as you're going, and the water itself is just red. It is filled with blood, and as you're pushing past bodies and wounded, you come into that big main barracks area that you all saw when you first came to investigate, and the room seems to have been the heaviest hit point of the battle itself. There are bodies strewn everywhere. There are people moaning and screaming. You see people are missing limbs that have been completely severed from bite marks. And in kind of the back center of the room against a wall, there's a collection of soldiers that are huddled around an individual that you recognize as Eleander, who is just slumped over, unmoving.
All right, I'll quickly swim over there and land next to them, kneel down, make an assessment. Is Eleander gone?
Make a medicine check for me.
I mean, I really need 2 computers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need the 2 screens are helpful whenever you do any sort of streaming stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
for sure.
I sometimes feel like I need...
I got a 17.
17. Kneeling down next to the body of Eleander, you can tell immediately that Eleander is gone. Eleander is dead. He would need to be raised some way. A revivify would probably be too late at this point. But yeah, Eleander is dead.
There's nothing we can do for him.
You got a 17.
Are you rolling deception while you say that?
No, well, his assumption is that it's not a raised dead factory downstairs. So yeah, if he's dead, he's dead, right? So that's what he says.
Okay. With a 17, something else catches your eye. You see that there are a few large bite marks on Eleander's arms where it seems like he managed to deflect some of the Sahuagin. But you don't really notice that there's not a clear like killing blow that is recognizable as coming from one of the Sahuagin weapons or even their natural weapons. And as you're kind of like looking at closer at Eleander's body, it becomes very apparent to you that Eleander doesn't have a mortal wound that matches any of the weapons that the Sahuagin use.
So maybe he's only mostly dead.
Maybe only mostly dead.
So in that case, I will snatch him up. I say, I will bring them to the others.
Okay, so you scoop the body up. They all seem to not protest, especially you have like Queen Othokent at your side and the other aquatic forces. And as you scoop Eleander up and start heading, you're gonna head downstairs?
Yes.
Okay, so you head downstairs. At this point, the rest of you have finished up your investigation, and I'm assuming you're going to gather up in the throne room here. It is within a couple of minutes as Aize is kind of going through the itemized list of what you found, Archive's voice kind of echoing in this chamber. You hear the kind of movement of water and bodies coming into the room, and you see all the allied forces there sort of parting as Othokent comes swimming into the room, and directly behind her is Volric with the big billowing cloak of the what is it, the cloak of the manta ray?
Manta ray.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, cloak of the manta ray as Volric comes swimming into the room, clutching the limp body of Eleander Fireborn.
And I'll kind of slow down to a stop and kneel and set Eleander down gently.
The body drifts down to the bottom of the stone floor. For the Forgotten One, you've never seen this person before. You see a very broad-shouldered man with fiery red hair. He's wearing very like well-made what looks to be splint armor, and one of his legs is missing, and in its place is this beautifully carved peg leg that has all sorts of designs running up it. And as the body sort of gently sinks down to the stone there set between all you and all your companions, Volric, what would you like to do?
I will be locking eyes with the Forgotten One because I know the capabilities of my team, but this one might be something special. This one is dead, but There are no mortal wounds. I'm wondering perhaps there's something else, something that can be removed to return him to the living. He is important.
Examine him. Oh,
That's it.
I will touch the Forgotten One and say, I will see what guidance you have to help you with this ascertaining what is going on, and give him guidance
Okay.
as well.
So you have guidance, the Forgotten One, as it kind of washes over you.
Okay. So, yeah. Before I go over there, I say, whatever this is, for me to undo it has a price. And then I don't even wait for the answer. I'm just leaving them with that. And then I walk over and I cast Spare the Dying on him, just to sort of determine if he is in fact dead, just like a snap call. Because I would know then if that worked or not worked, right?
So you hold out your hand and release that energy. It does not take hold. There is not a soul present.
Nothing to save. Yeah. Okay.
This person is dead.
Okay. And do I have? Can I beseech? I mean, we could roleplay that, I guess.
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah. I turn around again. I stand up and I sort of straighten up and come back and say, this is for the Raven Queen to decide.
Would not a resurrection, Volric, achieve the results that you're looking for? Perhaps a cleric that can resurrect Eleander. It seems to me you're asking what killed him, and I don't know whether or not we can ascertain that.
May I examine the corpse?
Yes, please do. And I look at Aspen.
I will go and help Aize.
Okay. Yeah.
I go into my bag and I pull out my instruments.
Okay. Yeah, so would you like to do investigation here as you start to pick over the body? Or are you...
I would like someone to assist me.
Okay.
I will assist him.
Yeah.
In the autopsy?
I will grab his hand before he goes down to touch the body, and he will feel that warmth of Torm flow throughout him.
Thank you, Devil Child.
I really love that name.
It's a good one.
Okay. Aize, yeah, you can make investigation with advantage with guidance.
Nice.
My goodness. Oh my god.
So 26.
Oh my god. Okay. You start to pick over the body, which is a strange experience because you've never done this underwater. It is a very odd thing to be like, to be lifting off pieces of armor which would normally be incredibly heavy and is sort of like lightened by the strange flow of the water that you're in, and to be peeling open wounds and having it all sort of drift up towards your face as opposed to just leaking out. It's a really strange experience doing this. But as you look over the body, immediately you notice what Volric talked about. There's clearly no wounds on here that were dealt by a Sahuagin or Sahuagin weapons that killed Eleander. But as you flip the body over and you notice that there is a split in the armor in the back side, in the back left side, where it looks like a blade has slipped in and split the armor open. And as you sort of pry that open with your instruments and look carefully within, you can see that mixed in with the blood that's starting to rise up is some sort of thick, viscous, dark material that's kind of like caked on where that pierce mark was. You immediately recognize that Eleander was stabbed with a weapon coated in wyvern poison, and it led to his death.
He was assassinated from behind, probably. Well, it wasn't a Sahuagin that killed him.
But it was not the strike that killed him.
The strike itself? Evidence indicates that he was still fighting Sargon when he died. You can see the marks on his arms and the bite marks and such like. He was a very robust man, so I imagine he may not have even noticed noticed the precision of the strike between the ribs and the left side, probably piercing the lung and hitting the heart. If it's done quickly and quietly enough in the heat of battle, he will feel pain, but he won't realize that he's already dead. The wyvern poison, what do I know about wyvern poison? Is it fast acting or slow?
Very fast acting.
The wyvern poison is very fast. He will believe that, oh no, I've been injured while he's been gnawed on, and then the wyvern poison will reach his heart and he's dead.
So perhaps if we can remove this poison, there's a chance.
I believe that you would need a priest of the 9th order in order to bring him back in his current state. We do not
Cleric
have
that can
one.
resurrect him, right?
A resurrection is not, I need an Arcana roll to know this. Like, I know it, but I don't know if I use it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, go for it. Make an Arcana roll.
I will also like to make one.
Yeah, you can.
I have a question, Nathan.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do I know where this wyvern poison came from?
I don't know how you would.
A wyvern?
Okay.
It's a southwestern brown wyvern.
Yeah.
Because I remember getting like something from Larissa's shop. I don't know. Maybe I'm like mixing it up in my head.
You got wyvern poison from Larissa's shop, and you gave it to Keladek. But I mean, there's no way. I mean, you could take you could take a sample, I suppose. Like, I mean, here's my question. You could probably maybe determine the origin of this poison if you had like alchemy skills and alchemy tools. Do you have that?
No, all I have is a herbalism kit. I don't think that's gonna help me much.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to try to take a sample of it, and 22 Arcana for the casting of resurrection magic. Yeah, I mean, I'll grant you, Aspen, what you know as a player for resurrecting bodies. I believe it's Raised Dead would be able to bring back somebody as long as you get it within 10 days, I think.
Raised Dead is 5th level.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Go for it.
Raised Dead is 5th level. You need an intact body. Resurrection, you can bring it back with dust.
Dust, yeah, that's right.
That is a very, very powerful spell and requires extremely high level caster.
Yeah, the fact that Eleander's not missing like his head or something, so he could be brought back with Raised Dead. Now it would obviously cost.
Thing is, like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Don't want to interrupt. Like Chinyar is very close to the level to be able to cast Raised Dead. I mean, it's 9th order. But I don't believe I know any priests in Saltmarsh of that strength. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Chinyar is the strongest priest in Saltmarsh currently.
Perhaps can try, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
What I do know is that he's a council. He was not so much a member of the council, but he was an influential member of the captain's guard. And the council should, if they choose, they can pony up the cash to bring him back. All we need to do is remove the wyvern poison from the wound. His body will be intact and he won't drop dead if he's raised.
Well, we already know there are forces working against Saltmarsh. The spies from before. Olacanth, do you think we can find out who made this strike upon Eleander's back?
You're asking Othokent, the queen, the lizard folk?
Oh, I said Oleander, didn't I?
She even? Yeah. So you ask her this. I'm not sure what my people can do. I could try giving some of the... You're saying it was a poison. I could try giving that to some of our shamans to determine, but we don't know the intricacies of Saltmarsh. I'm afraid.
I'm looking for a witness to the battle.
Who is with him?
Well, the aquatic forces were all down here. You would have to speak with those that were with Eleander. Perhaps that captain that is upstairs, or one of the others.
Would I know, DM, if there are alchemy kits in Saltmarsh that I would be able to purchase?
I mean, you only just arrived, so maybe.
I have one.
Oh, you do? There you go.
As part of my class ability, I can change my proficiency with a kit tomorrow.
Cool.
Yep. That's why I have one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Forgotten One, did you want to...
I mean, I don't know what Betcha was just thinking, so I have one, but
Okay.
I don't know what it wants to do.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know if Aspen would tell us anything either. So...
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we would even know to compare the poison to something. We don't know. So it's going to depend on Aspen, whether or not Aspen will say anything.
We could interrogate those who were with him when he fell. You say this poison was instant. The strike must have happened in the same moment.
It's a job by a professional. I mean, look at it.
It's with Gellin.
One strike, this close. See the precision? Person knew exactly what they were doing.
Are you wondering who did it, or are we trying to save them, or both?
Both.
I want to know.
Easy.
I think I know who did it.
Aize, is there any possible way that you can get us a sample? I know you are the most well versed with this.
I've already taken a sample of the wyvern venom. After I identified it, I'm actually thinking we should clean it out. Shifty seems to think that he knows who did it.
Wasn't he fighting with Gellin?
I don't know.
I will message Aize. I think we have a problem. I will explain more on the ship. But right now, we need that sample.
All right, I take a sample of the wyvern poison, and I also clear out the wound as best I can.
Okay. I would like you to make a skill check for this to collect a sample.
Looking over your shoulder. The whole
I
time, like,
would. Do you have tools to do this?
I assumed I have investigate. Oh, hold on.
Would you need a healer's kit, or?
Yeah, like some tool. Like I will let you use a tool for it and let you justify what exactly it is. But I would say alchemy kit or maybe healer's kit could work. Potentially herbalism kit. Something.
No, all I have is a small knife. Everything else is scribe oriented.
Okay.
Well, for survival and do a Bear Grylls, just.
Can I hand them? I mean, I don't know how much a herbalism kit is gonna help, but I hand them. I will.
Oh yeah,
hand
I just
him.
need a vial. I always
Okay.
carry around
Yeah.
50 vials.
All right, so go
I'll
ahead.
give him guidance.
Okay, go ahead,
as he
Aize.
attempts to-
Making this will be, God, what would it? This would be more survival based or medicine based to extract the poison. But you have the kit at your disposal, so that'll lower the DC, and you have guidance.
Do I have anyone else to help me with this, with medicine?
Oh, be careful. Be careful.
I have medicine if you want help. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It might be that stuff that was inside the shark and the hydra. What if he's infected with that? Don't let it get on your hands and mouth.
It's not moving, and I've been rooting around in him for a little while here.
Maybe it's dormant. No, not again.
Yeah.
Broken.
Aspen, you have do you have medicine?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. You can assist Aize as the two of you get down and try to extract this. So Aize, go
All right,
ahead and
advantage with a D4.
yeah, medicine or survival.
Wow, I'm glad that this is an advantage.
Oh boy.
Hold on, roll in a D4.
Yeah, I'm not sure you needed to cut his head off to extract the poison. I like the initiative, but yeah.
With this, what is that? A 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to cut the head off. You are able to very carefully extract a good glob of the venom without too much contamination from the gore and blood that's there, and put that into the vial. It's again very strange because you're underwater, so it's this kind of like strange floating glob that you're gonna put in the vial and.
I seal the vial and I hand it to Aspen.
Okay, you have a vial of wyvern poison, a very small amount that also has salt water in it, but you do have that.
Okay. I think I will address the party. Shinyar, I don't know if you have maybe gentle repose or something, but I might know some people that we can contact in order to get Oleander up. But I don't. It's gonna take me time to find them. Find one of them.
I don't have it right now. And then she will look to the Forgotten One. To you.
It is not every day you have an avatar of the Raven Queen to help you. This is all possible if she wills it, at a price, not
kind of
the
price?
conventional kind.
Oh.
I do not extract the price. That is for her to decide. You must just state that you wish this to be true.
Is he like a genie then? Yeah, we should huddle. We should huddle.
Know that before we make this decision, as we're making it for him, there is a price. I've already paid mine. I'm returned again, but not the same.
Hey, don't leave me again. I'm so
The shackles of human frailty have been lifted. My motivations are no longer determined by emotion or sentiment. I am here with a cold purpose. Those who prey upon the innocent shall be preyed upon. Those who enslave and oppress will be smashed, as will the chains they use to bind their prisoners. I will be the thing that monsters fear in the dark. I am alive, yes, but the elf Ulrich, he is dead.
I poke you a few times. Okay, Ulrich.
So I don't know what price there might be for Oleander. But what the Forgotten One says is true.
I look directly at the Forgotten One. Prices and deals, they are the same to me. And if someone has to pay a price for Oleander, I'll do it.
You shouldn't do that, Aspen. You already paid a huge price. Look.
I accept that, and I look at Shenyar for if she the current sort of conduit approves.
So I don't think I have Ray's dead yet.
No, I'm asking if you want me to do it. At a price.
She'll turn to Aspen, and she'll say, "You don't understand what you're asking. There will be a cost. Are you sure this is what you want?"
I understand completely.
All right.
Cool. At that point, I will sort of roll my eyes back in my head as I mutter some incantation or prayer or whatever to commune with, boss lady.
Okay.
Raven Queen, and see if she wishes to, if she wishes this to be the case, as in, does the DM wish this to be the case?
Okay.
In which case, then what happens?
So you roll your eyes back, and as they do, all of you see instead of the whites of the Forgotten One's eyes, they turn to shadow. You, the Forgotten One, find yourself standing there in that shadow plane of mists, twirling around you, and there's almost this thin gray veil of light on the infinite horizon. You sense the presence of her near.
My queen.
You hear the voice coming from above. Yes. What can I do for you? I told you to keep an eye on her and aid her in any way you can.
I do not have the power myself. If you wish this exchange to take place, you must facilitate, as you did previously.
Ooh, I could do such a thing. I'm afraid what I gave you, though, was the only one in my power right now.
I understand.
If you, if you are willing to speak with Chenyar, perhaps Chenyar could give me something a little more, and I would grant her this ability for but a day.
So this is like happening, I imagine, sort of almost at the same time. Like there's this going on in my head, and I'm obviously standing there, and almost so she's almost speaking through me.
Okay, yeah.
And my voice gets almost overlapped in your mind. Everyone hears just my voice, but you also hear, her voice, like you heard in previously in that other vision. And she asks you that question. You have to be willing to give something even greater now for this second moon. That'll make you able to do the thing you need to do for. She said a day. Was that what the deal was?
Yeah, grant you the power to do this for a day.
That's huge, potentially.
Yeah.
On the battlefield, as we are. But yeah. So what do you say to that as she speaks through me?
So you see the Forgotten One just sort of turn and look at you with those black shadowy eyes, and the voice of him comes forth for all of you. But yes, as he said, Chenyar, you hear her voice in your head.
I know you're addressing Chenyar, but can I just speak up? Chenyar, sorry.
Yes, of course, Ayeze. Always.
You already have.
Oh, all right. That's true. No. Like I said, he's a council member. He has his own people. It's regrettable that he's dead, but no.
He is right. The cost is great.
Perhaps there is another way. My liege. And she closes her eyes.
Is there like a whole...
Such a generous gift, my queen.
I'm sorry, real quick, I missed that. Go ahead.
So Chenyar closes her eyes, and she says, "Such a generous gift, my queen. But I will pass for now, and I will seek your aid another day. My gratitude undying."
And I'm back. My eyes no longer black.
And she said that in Sylvan, so nobody else really understood except for anybody who speaks Sylvan, which would only...
Okay.
Not Elven, Sylvan?
Sylvan, yeah.
Sylvan.
And and Forgotten One, you are back.
And then I just nod, and I have no emotion one way or the other about this.
Maybe
and I just step aside.
Shifty?
Maybe I could offer something that I feel like I've failed you all.
It is done.
No, Shifty, you have not failed anyone. Do not say such things. Trust me. It's okay.
So, as this meeting kind of starts to come to a close and more allies are now kind of spilling out of the room and pulling bodies away, I would like to just ask you all what you want to do for kind of the remainder of your time here in the fortress as the allied forces are sort of retaking everything and getting everything back in order. We're kind of like in a little bit more of a montage space here, unless you want to do something really specific.
How about
Well,
one of us speak one at... Oh, I was just
Sorry,
going to recommend each one of us start one at a time, and you can start, Chenya.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So at the end of what just happened,
Mm-hmm.
after the Forgotten One comes back,
Mm-hmm.
Chinyar is going to walk over to Aspen, and she's going to give her a very big hug.
Okay. Yeah.
And she'll whisper in her ear, "We're safe for now."
He wasn't worth it.
He wasn't worth it. No, but we'll find another way. We'll find another.
I will hug Shinyar back, kind of like sighing in relief that even though this price has been paid or whatever is going on with that, she kind of just like stares at Volric for a second, and then she looks at everyone else. I think maybe we should get back up to the surface. But she's saying that with the intent on finding Galen.
Okay. All right. So you offer that to the group. Why don't I quickly go over to Aize? Are you? Do you want to follow the group up, or was there something you wanted to do?
I'll tell them I'll catch up with them on the Diora.
Okay.
And I am going to search this fortress up and down to see if the apparatus is here.
Got it. Okay, so you start swimming around the fortress as everyone else is going upstairs. Volric, are you going to join Aspen?
So a couple of things. He turns to Shifty and he says, "Captain, you failed no one. The war is won. But I would advise that we check the Dior and the crew, because their welfare, we do not know what has happened."
I don't think I wanted to be captain for a very long time, but I can't handle losing the crew.
Then go to the Diora.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I'm sure. I have a feeling that Galen was behind this. He was the one that was assigned with Oleander. I believe Oleander was supposed to look after him.
Aize, do you need an escort? Or you be all right?
I'll be fine. I have archive.
Then I'll follow you, Captain. I will go up with you, Aspen.
Okay. So three of
Chinyar
you.
will.
Yeah.
Chinyar will go with Aspen, by the way, but she's going to tell the
Forgotten One.
The Forgotten One, protect Aize.
Oh, okay. So Forgotten One, you are given the duty of staying with Aize as Aize continues to explore the fortress.
As you command.
All right. Yeah, let's stick with Aize and the Forgotten One as the rest of you head up to the surface to regroup with the Diora. So, Aize, you start swimming off through the halls of carnage and destruction, searching up and down for anything. And at your side, Forgotten One, what are you kind of doing here as this wizard is swimming around looking for things?
I would look for, as he's looking for stuff, I would just look for things that I would know that, would be of interest to her collection if there is such a thing that when she sends her people this directly, maybe she likes all these trinkets of various, like very old things or very meaningful things to people. So I'll just look for that sort of stuff. But other than that, I'm just quiet. I don't, I'm now in bodyguard mode.
Okay.
I will also cast aid as we leave the party on both of us, just so we have 5 more hit points each.
Okay.
As we cruise around for safety. It lasts for 8 hours. No concentration.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Aize, what is Aize looking like in this moment as you're swimming around, swimming around this fortress? Are you like giddy, or what are we seeing here with this
Um,
somber figure
he's
at your
pretty
side?
tired. He's got good stamina, but he's as strong as a pipe cleaner. And so and I'm having a very strange sensation of having 0 spells except for a cantrip. So I'm being cautious, but if I'm accompanied by the Nameless One, I nod to him. I noticed the 8 spell. I've had one on those on me before, and it's like, oh, wonderful. This makes me feel braver. Could you take point, please? I'll follow right behind.
Yes. Then, tell me where you'd like to go, and I shall go there.
Place your right hand against the wall
and follow.
and move. That is all.
This is all. All right, so we do that. We do the right hand sweep.
Okay, cool.
Would you like to rest before we go on? I don't know if you've done your arcane recovery today.
Actually, that is not a bad idea. Excellent suggestion.
We can montage the 1 hour that we sort of chill here.
Absolutely, yeah. So the two of you go swimming about this fortress, again through destruction and carnage, searching every little nook and cranny for this hour, with you leading the way, the Forgotten One, making sure that Aize is protected. Aize, I'm gonna say no roll needed for this, because about a half hour into your search, you end up finding yourself going down to the 3rd level, seeming to have just to search this upper level almost pretty thoroughly. Most of what you find are a lot of very much like utility rooms. There are sleeping quarters, there's a barracks, there's storerooms, all of the usual stuff. As you go down to the 3rd level, Forgotten One, you are kind of leading the way and push into a room that is much larger and is strangely empty. There is a lot of seaweed that is growing within here. You can see some kind of scattered detritus on the sandy floor, and this room as well. It's got a sandy bottom as opposed to the stone construction that you've seen everywhere else and the tile construction. You push into this room, and the only thing that you see is in the center of the room, there is a single lobster that's scuttling across the sand. And then it kind of stops, and the antenna kind of twitch in your direction.
Oh.
And it suddenly kind of turns its back and swims towards you with its big tail and comes to rest in front of you. As it gets close to you, I mean, do either of you do anything as this happens?
A normal-sized, normal-looking lobster?
Yeah, just a normal lobster.
Then I will watch with curiosity. Perhaps make sure that I'm in between my mage friend. Sorry. And the
Aize, don't worry.
Aize, yeah.
All right. Aize, do you just wait and see this as this little lobster is swimming towards you?
All I know is that is Joachim sending a good omen, because I think we're close. And I'm looking more carefully to see where the lobster came from.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check as it comes swimming towards you.
Is that both of us?
Yeah, go for it.
12?
12, okay.
Not 12.
9, okay. As the two of you scan the room, and this small little creature comes flitting up to you, and then it settles about 10 feet away from you into the sand, and then turns to face you, looking up, its little antenna and eyes kind of twitching in your direction. You both suddenly get this strong, like, feeling of sort of warmth and safety that kind of washes over your body, like seemingly out of nowhere. Like you are not forcing this emotion, it just suddenly comes over you. And then you start to hear a strange, like, it's more of a collection of images and feelings that washes through your head, and there's a bit of a voice behind it, but it's mainly feelings and emotions, as this little lobster is looking up at you, and it says to you telepathically, "Oh, you're not Sahawagin. Oh."
I will respond telepathically. And you're not a lobster.
I am a lobster. Oh, thank you very much. Your friend there has a funny brain. The thoughts feel weird and cold.
He says this to us
To both of you, telepathically, yeah.
Okay, I will
I
immediately.
don't believe you're a lobster at all. You just look like one.
What do
Lobsters
you
don't
what do you
this.
do? Forgotten what?
I cast Washer's Will immediately. As it's my channel divinity, so I grab
Cool.
my holy symbol, and I like. It's almost like a screen of your mind, kind of. It doesn't screen people out, but suddenly me and my mage friend have we have advantage on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws for the next minute.
Nice. Okay.
And that's it. And then I'll let the conversation keep going.
Okay. Do you respond or you just listen and watch?
Oh, he said I had a weird brain. I'm listening to see what's next. Yeah.
Okay. So I use a UCast detect thoughts. I mean, you are sort of getting the thoughts of this creature. You start to, or are you not?
I'm not probing it. Sorry, I should clarify. I'm not being rude and probing it because it hasn't attacked us. I want to know if there's any other thinking things around.
Got it. Yeah. You extend your consciousness. You are alone in the room with this lobster, and you kind of get. You do get I know you're not probing deeper, but you do get the surface level thoughts. Like, you get basically a stronger feeling than you already are getting in communicating with this thing, and the feeling that you're kind of getting is that there's hope coming from this little creature, and like desire to. You get a sense it wants to leave, and it's looking at you. I've been hearing horrible things and smelling terrible blood. What was that?
I'm sorry I interrupted you. It's really hard, this telepathic conversation.
Yeah.
But, you want out?
Yes, I do.
Up in the bag.
Oh, wow, thank you. I thought we were going to have to make a deal or something. I was going to off. Okay. And it flutters up into your bag.
Sure, this magnificent creature. What are you talking about? And I sort of turn it over. Make sure Archive gets a good view of it.
It's a lobster. And it goes, my name's... wait, careful with me. My name is Shern. Or at least that's...
Shern!
Yeah.
I'm gonna divine sense when it's not looking.
Okay.
So if it's celestial fiend or undead, I would know.
You focus in and on this creature, and you do kind of hear a faint chuckle in your mind as the Raven Queen's presence is suddenly brought before you as you use this divine action, and you hear her voice go, "Oh, I'm afraid that's just a lobster. What a curious thing, though."
Okay, I take that to mean that she wants it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do anything, or are you just going to continue to watch?
For now, I'm just gonna watch.
Okay.
Anyways, if you could get me out, that would be great.
Sure, and you wouldn't have happened to notice or see anything down here that's like you, only bigger.
Like me, but bigger. Not in here.
Follow-up question.
Where then?
Well, I was in a... I was taken from my home by these creatures, and they made me fight other ones. And, other of my friends. It was terrible, but I managed to swim away, and I'm hiding here. But where I'm from is very cold and dark and deep. I don't mind it because there's some worm things around, worm rocks. There's worm rocks that spew out worm stuff, and it makes me feel good. And there's food. But I remember there was a very big thing that kind of looked like me, but it
it didn't move or anything, and it didn't smell like food, so I just kind of left it there.
All right, we're gonna go for a little walk back to our friends so I can introduce you. And I promise that your future will not hold any garlic or butter.
What's garlic? What's butter?
Nothing you want to know, my friend. Nothing.
Is it
Terrible.
food?
It is.
I guess.
It's food.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, maybe you should put it on me. If it's food.
Not going to put any garlic or butter on you, but I have some sort of squishy rations here. I'm afraid the salt water got to it. I will shove this in your tail, I believe, is where your mouth is.
No, what?
Oh, no, wait. Is it the other end?
Don't put it there, the other way. And then
All right,
the
I'll-
claws
there
reach
you
out
go.
and grab onto it, and the little mouth starts to
I'm
bite
probably
into it.
getting my crustaceans mixed up. We need to take this back to the group, and this fella is coming back to the Diora with us. He knows where it is.
Indeed.
Okay. So, you both swim back up
Yep.
to the Diora as that hour fades. And yeah, Aize, again, after the show, I'll give you some itemized things of, like, just if you want general loot, I can do that for you.
Well, yeah, let's just being a quartermaster.
Perfect. Okay. So, let's see here. We got about 20 minutes. We can return back to the group. So the rest of you went to the Diora? Okay. So, as you all push through what Volric just went through, the upper halls filled with red water, and various corpses that are being gathered by the lizard folk that are trying their best to recoup what was lost. You can see Brox as you're leaving the fortress, off in the big main room, helping the lizard folk collect the bodies and starting to pile them up. Brox gives you a brisk nod, Volric, as you leave, and then resumes his duties. Stepping out into the daylight, yeah, because I believe you started this very early in the morning. So as you step outside, you can see the sun is just a bit above the horizon in the early morning light here. There's still a big, thick bank of fog that's clinging to the coastline directly in front of you. And you can see surrounding this area there are multiple ships bobbing in the water, and bigger sailing ships, the ones that you came in on, are approaching from the north. You see before you, though, there's all of the smaller smuggling vessels that have the black sails and the padded oars that are all pulled up against the shoreline here. It does look like some of the smuggler vessels were destroyed. You can see bits of wood in the water. But eventually you were able to row your way back to the Diora and get aboard the deck of the Diora, and see the other massive sailing ships of the remaining fleet around you. You are looking for Galen?
Yes, I will look for Galen.
All right. Asking around, you find out Galen was stationed aboard the flagship that Eleander had come in on. It appears that Eleander had assigned him the duty of staying watch aboard the flagship, and essentially had assigned him to the very crucial role of cleaning the back half of the ship where essentially the toilets are located. So you do find Galen back there kind of awkwardly still standing with an unsoiled bucket and rag that's just been sitting there, and he's kind of leaning against the railing looking out at the other vessels that are going in towards the fortress. I'm assuming all of you are there as Aspen is kind of leading this. And for the sake of the show, since we're coming to the end here, we'll say that through your kind of conversation of trying to find Galen, it took you a little while to kind of sort through the chaos. And at this point, Aize and the Forgotten One are joining you aboard the deck of the Diora as you begin your journey over to the flagship to meet up with Galen. So, as you all row over there, I guess briefly, as you're rowing towards the flagship to meet Galen, I believe, Aize, you wanted to talk with the group about your new friend.
Yes.
Picked up a pet.
Not a pet, sapient being. I reach into the bag and I bring forth Sharn.
As the lobster is pulled forward, the legs sort of scuttling, all of you sitting there immediately feel a feeling of gratitude wash over you, and then those kind of flashes of images and smells that seem to almost coalesce into language in your head, and you hear the voice, "Hi, I'm Sharon. Thanks for helping me."
What?
The Raven Knight and I found him. He has been a prisoner of the Sahagin, and they put him in mortal combat for their amusement, and he managed to escape. Is he not adorable?
Oh, for a second I thought you found his dinner, but
Oh.
he talks. That's not normal. What?
So
What kind
rude.
of creature is this, Aize?
It is a lobster that talks telepathically.
I
And
look to the forgotten one.
This
quick.
this seems to check out.
So you brought us dinner that can talk.
No dinner. No.
Oh,
No, I don't.
Are you talking about giving me dinner? Because I heard that there's something called butter that's supposed to be food.
No,
yes, did he-
no.
did he tell you that, you can, it's like a, well,
Aize, what did you tell him?
I told him that I'd keep him out of garlic and butter, but he insists. He's very hungry. I fed him what I had, but my
Send
rations
him
were
the
Well,
soggy.
when you were talking about it, I got this sensation of deliciousness that was washing over your brain, so I figured I might want to try it.
Oh dear.
Feels like being seasoned.
Many cultures
rations?
practice cannibalism with no ethical ambiguity.
Is this are you butter? Is that what you are?
No.
I am not.
Oh, you said cannibalism, so I assumed
How
that
do you
you
talk?
were butter. I don't know. This just happened to me one day.
What day happened? Like what? What?
I don't know. I don't know how many days it's been, but it happened one day. I was just minding my own business, and then my other friends suddenly became really boring because I couldn't really communicate with them, and then I was having all these thoughts and feelings. I didn't even know what a feeling was until it happened.
Did it happen when you found the larger version of yourself?
No, but it happened around there. There were some other weird things that were happening in that area, too.
Could you find your way there again?
Yeah, I could.
Oh, you are never going to be eaten, my friend.
Oh, thank
can
you.
we, I kind of whispered to Aize, can we eat the other ones we find, or?
Yes, I think that he is not a member of a lobster species, intelligent lobster species, as I suspected. I think he's been in the presence of an artifact, and it has endowed him with intelligence.
Or a druid with awaken.
That's an
Chinyar
excellent term.
will
He awakened. Yes.
we'll hand the little lobster creature some food from her rations.
Its claws come out and pull the blocks of ration off and starts to eat it with its little mouth.
He seems hungry.
I'll message the creature, and I say, "You were forced to fight.
Yes,
And how is it that you survive?"
I had to kill one, and then when they put me away, I hid. There was a lot of us at one point, and I just stayed out of the way. My other friends weren't as clever, I guess. Kinda
So you
just-
fought other lobsters.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Yeah, please relive your memories of murdering your friends for me. real quick.
Or,
Yeah.
mostly he's trying to understand how this thing could have survived, but I was thinking against, a human or a Triton or something.
Oh my god! Just
no,
take a
no.
little lobster.
Is there some power this creature has? I don't know about. So, okay.
All right. So
I have something to,
Possibly, yeah.
I'd like to share something with y'all. As you probably ascertained, there's something that I am looking for. And it's called the Apparatus of Qualish. And it's an ancient artifact. But Shern here, from his description, has seen it and has been in its presence deep beneath the ocean. And according to him, there are other interesting things there too. Not saying that we go look for it now, but just, stick a pin in it.
How valuable is this apparatus? Like, what's it do?
Valuable.
Priceless.
If it is what you seek, Aize will find it.
It's not really something you can sell. It's basically just, it's a fascinating and powerful piece of history, but it's not destructive in nature. It's just a device that you can use to explore the oceans.
Oh, let's save the world first, baby.
So it's not
I
just
think we did save the world. Aize, if we can help in any way, we will.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
Perhaps we take care of Eleander first, and then we seek whatever it is that you are looking for, Aize.
As I said, just stick a pin in it and think about it. Is all. Not a huge rush.
I will message Aize, and I will tell him that Oleander had assigned Galen to the ship, so we don't have to worry about him at the moment.
We just have to worry. I telepathically link back to Aspen and say, the only thing we have to worry about is who ordered the hit on Oleander.
So, go ahead.
I hope I'm wrong, but if I'm not, I think I kind of might have a lead.
You mean that you're an accessory to murder?
I've murdered plenty of people, so I might be accessories to multiple crimes, really. so
who cares?
Yeah, I mean, this.
So did it? That's great.
I don't know for sure, but I have a guess. And I just grab Shinyar's hand and I squeeze it, and I'll lean over to her. When we get back to the ship, can you come to my room? I have to tell you something.
I thought we already were at the ship.
Are we?
You are.
You're on the ship.
Yeah, I mean, you are on your way to the flagship to go meet up with Galen, because that's what y'all wanted to do. So, yeah. That was my understanding. You could be wherever you want. If you want to be on the deck of the Diora right now, you're welcome to do so.
So I'm assuming then that the Diora and crew are fine.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Checking in with the Diora and crew, they are fine. It seems that, actually, as we're coming to the end here, as a recap of the kind of battle and how it went and this fight that you had, it seems as you were getting on the deck of the Diora, there were minimal casualties. You can see there were definitely casualties amongst the other various ships as well as some on the Diora, but they were very minimal. Your efforts to destroy the Maw of Sekala and then pushing in further before Baron Kepmak could actually get out to fight on the front lines had a significant impact on this battle, and you all definitely achieved a total victory in this fight. As you go to the flagship and are led up aboard the deck of the ship and walk towards the back where you are told Galen has been assigned this cleaning duty, as I said before, you walk around the corner and you can see that there is a bucket and rag that has been untouched, and Galen is just leaning against the railing, looking out over the fleet that is bobbing in the water before you. You can see various vessels going to and fro to their ships, bringing soldiers back.
Untouched, you said?
Yeah, he's just kind of standing there and enjoying the view.
This is Galen. We know Aspen would know he is not like a hands-on type of person. He doesn't clean for himself and stuff like that, right?
No, yeah, definitely not. And clearly he has not. Like you as you approach, you can see that the area that he was assigned to clean has not been touched.
I just looked at Yuze, like give him a side eye, like a side glance. And I keep a hold of Shinyar's hand for the time being.
As you're approaching, the kind of creaking of the wood alerts him to your presence, and he kind of turns. You can see that he's still wearing like some of his finer clothing, but atop it he has like very ill-fitting armor and has a spear that's like resting off to the side, and there is a helmet kind of resting on the deck, but right now he is wearing his big elegant hat as he big floppy elegant hat as he turns to face you all. Hello, welcome all. Whoa, I don't recognize you. And you can see this gentleman here, the Forgotten One, is kind of a tall, well-groomed, clearly a noble, has a goatee, kind of salt and pepper hair, and looks over you all. Hello. Well, it seems that the battle was a great success. I've been hearing wonderful things going around the rest of the crew. Could I help you with anything?
Well, yeah, we had to make a deal with the Shadow Man over here. To win this battle, we had to offer him a life.
Offer him a life, really?
Yeah, for someone who didn't put their effort in, perhaps.
Huh. Well, that's oddly specific.
Did you help win this battle at all? What did you do during all this?
I was standing here on guard. This is where Eleander had me stay. He said, stay behind, keep an eye on the ship, and clean up the, poop deck? Literally?
Looks like you dodged a lot of poo for sure.
Yes, I saw it from a distance. It looked harrowing, to be sure.
Very brave.
I would like to insight check him.
Yeah, go for it.
May I assist?
How do you assist in an insight check?
So as he's talking, and kind of giving his assessment of like, oh, I've been, standing here, kind of keeping watch, right? I'm going to kind of circle around to make him uneasy as he's talking, so that when Aspen does her insight check, he's kind of like off balance a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead. That's a very good explanation. Go ahead, Aspen. Make it at advantage.
Okay. 17.
Okay. I mean, are you trying to see if he's holding anything
I'm
back?
trying to see if there's any shift in his body language.
Yeah. He seems a little intimidated right now as suddenly, like, all of you rolled up on him and are now starting to kind of surround him. He doesn't seem like he's holding any, like withholding any information. You just get the sense he's kind of becoming progressively more nervous, especially with Chenyar suddenly circling behind him. He's kind of like, okay, like he gets a sense that you all want something from him. So, yeah.
Do we want this
Eleander.
man to speak the truth?
Yes. If you can make that possible.
Just respond to a question and you just observe him.
What is he doing?
I'm waiting to see what's happening.
Well, we told you we had to give a life for a life, a win for a life, and since you wanted to give so much for Saltmarsh, I guess this win would be, or this gift might just be you speaking the truth.
Oh, all right.
Perhaps about Leander?
Sorry, what? What's wrong with Eleander?
The one you were put to be fighting with?
Oh, he assigned me here. He told me to stay here. Where is Eleander? Why are you all? I feel some aggression coming off of you, and that one there just raised his hand. Like, did you want to say something?
He is doing a service for his queen. Oleander is dead, and somebody may have killed him and we were just coming to make sure you weren't dead also.
Oh shit.
Somebody with
Yes.
a thieves' blade, probably backstabbed, as it were.
Poison.
Poison. Okay.
Taking a
Wow,
dagger and
that's not
taking my
good.
teeth.
Can I
Does
make?
he actually seem surprised?
Um,
Can we do an insight check to see how surprised he is by this information?
Yeah, I'd like to insight that. Yeah.
yeah, go for it. Both of you make insight checks, and
Okay.
and then we're gonna do something here because we're right at the end of the show as he is, sort of like, let's see if you all can tell. An 11.
I can't. I'm at a bad angle. I can't see his
You are
face.
behind him, yeah. And we'll see what Shifty gets, and then I'm gonna
Oh, there he goes.
17. Okay. Yeah, he seems genuinely surprised that Eleander is dead.
I will message Aspen.
Okay.
Is there something I should know? He's an enemy? Because I was left out of the loop, of course, on all this.
Everything can be explained on a ship. Right now, we need to get back.
In
Go ahead.
this moment, as you're kind of having this conversation with Volric and you're through message, Eleander kind of standing there looking a bit tense. Forgotten One, you standing there in support of Chenyar, with the Raven Queen there present with you at all times. You suddenly feel this searing pain in your head, and that connection, that feeling to the Raven Queen is suddenly severed. Everything becomes incredibly cold, and you feel the hairs on the back of your neck starting to stand and feel like there's something staring directly at you.
Divine sense. 60 feet of, or maybe it doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't.
Okay. I start backing up and pulling out my blades
Okay.
and looking around.
You all see the Forgotten One getting tense, pulling the weapons out.
As soon as I see him do that, I'm going to be pulling my blade too.
Okay.
And I know you have to make a roll.
All right, so everybody pulls
Ins-
their blades.
Insight roll for me. I'm not drawing my blade.
Okay. Yeah, Forgotten One, you continue to feel that pain, and then you start, that presence is becoming stronger within you, and you start to feel something burbling up within your mind. You are not welcome here. You will leave. You will leave now. That sense of something watching you is pulling you strongly towards the south. You feel this coldness, this fear, this dread emanating from the south.
Yeah, okay. So I probably just have time to sort of look south with like this strange first time you've seen any level of like shock or surprise. And I say, I think I'm being severed from this plane. And then
Yeah. As you're looking in that direction and say that, you all start to see the Forgotten One's form becoming translucent as tendrils of smoke and shadow. And then with a very brief and violent pull, the Forgotten One, you feel yourself suddenly wrenched out of the material plane. And he disappears.
and see.
I hug my lobster.
I reach out as he's disappearing.
Yeah. So, with that, we are going to wrap it up because we are at 9 o'clock here. Ooh, what's this? Let me go to Aize really quick.
Hey!
That's
Very cool.
awesome.
Outdone yourself again.
Yeah, I love those. That's a fun thing to have in your D&D group.
Yeah, I know. That's amazing. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Thank you, Thor, so much. It was a
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Ready?
Maybe one day we'll have you back. Who knows?
And hey, and extra props for the costume. He looks better than everybody
Yeah.
else.
That's not true.
You
But
look
yeah,
good.
thank you for.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank
Very
you so
nice
much.
to meet you, Thor. Thank you for coming.
We will
It's
see.
been great playing with you, Thor.
We will see you all
Likewise.
next week. Excited to see what happens. We actually are having another guest next week, so we will post about that, and you can look forward to seeing them. It
Well,
is.
let's Sarah Moore, right, from Gen Con TV, maybe the most famous or infamous person from Gen Con TV, and we're looking forward to having her.
Indeed. All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Next